EMS or activating the 911 system. When you're talking about our furry friends, we don't have that. So as far as when we talk about and learn CPR for them, it literally is a last resort. So, as a pet parent, this is your family, right? You want to take care of them. You bring them into your house. There's also kind of that I don't want to say legal aspect, but that responsibility, that moral aspect of, you brought them in. Now let's really take care of them. And it's pretty, I think it's important. Obviously, that's why I teach it, right? It's not just a moneymaker. There's a why behind everything. I've always had pets, and I love them, and I want to make sure that they have the best. And so when a friend asked me if I could teach her staff when she opened up her pet, her doggy daycare, took me a little bit of research there to get the program materials and et cetera that was necessary. But did it for her. And I love it. I love teaching that class. It's one of my favorites. Pretty much anyone that comes to my classes, they know I love teaching what I'm teaching. So it's kind of a given, but no, it's fun. I enjoy it very much.
That brings up a good question. How long have you been at the game of saving lives?
Well, I was a duffer up until, I got to look, about 12 years ago. And
wow.
Staying Alive is actually having our oh my gosh, our 9th anniversary this May.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
Sweet.
Pretty exciting.
Now, what I need to do right here is go backwards a little bit. I just noticed that my software, for some reason, didn't go live. So people missed the whole introduction. So welcome to the show. My name is Xavier Smith. My girl right to the left or right of me, depending on how you're watching this, is Deanna, and she is with Staying Alive LLC. We were just talking about what Deanna does as a service. So if you or someone you know needs to be certified or recertified in CPR, this is the gal that you need to know. She was just telling us a little bit about you're going into your 9th year of existence. Was that right?
Apparently. I was just looking at my franchise certification thingy up on my wall, and it says May of 2012 is when Staying Alive became official.
Nice.
So I guess doing the math, I guess this is going to be 9 years come May. So but I was teaching long before that. Then
yes. Now let's talk a little bit about the background story. I heard a little bit about that in a conversation off camera, but for the people that might be watching this later who need what you offer, tell us a little bit about how you came to be and what that is all about.
So just like I mentioned, I was a duffer prior to doing this. That what I mean by that is, just having to live through experiences and not really have, real training. I had, as a teenager, taken a CPR course as part of a lifeguard training class. That was a long time ago, and things have changed a lot since then. And, I have to say, what I remember most about that class is when we got done, I didn't know what I was doing. And all I could think of was the guy's dead. Cause I don't know, is it, 5 compressions for this one or 15 for that one? I mean, I really didn't know. And that's scary.
Right.
Finishing a class and feeling like I didn't know what I was doing. I could get people out of a pool. That part of the class, I was all in. I knew what I was doing. It was all good. But, I get them up on the deck and then what? I was... Right. And then fast forward, I know I shared this part of it. My youngest has quite a few medical issues. And when pretty much from the time he was born, trying to keep him breathing was a big issue. And then my neighbor treated me to 2 massive heart attacks. So ultimately, and I didn't share this part with you, when I wanted to open up my own training center, I didn't have the funds necessary. I didn't have enough. And that wonderful man across the street did. And so he fronted the money for me. Wow. And it was supposed to be a loan. Sadly, he did pass away about the time I was starting to make money and was going to start paying him back. And so this ended up being his legacy, ultimately. So,
Hercules, Hercules.
right?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you got an amazing story. You obviously love what you do. So let's talk a little bit more. We briefly touched on CPR for pets,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of people who I think would need you just for that because people treat their pets better than they treat their human
Family. Yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty awesome. But what let's do this. Let's bring up your website so people can see. Boom, this is Dina's website right here, Staying Alive. um, and it's very robust, pretty plain and simple, but it's effective. um, what would you like your people to know about how to get started? Like, do you do online? Are you a hybrid of in person and online? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm here for whatever the student needs, basically. And so individuals can, I do have my calendar up there. If you scroll down a little bit on there, there's a calendar. So any of my public, no,
Oh,
scroll.
gotcha.
There you go, right there in the middle. Um, any of my public classes, I try to keep that updated so individuals can just click on whatever day. I
Boom.
gotta see. There should be a couple each month at minimum. Anyway, that you can. Those are traditional
Yep.
full in-person classes. So that's one way to do it. Then I do have, you mentioned hybrid. I do offer something called blended learning. Um, that is part online and then part in person. And I don't put the in-person times up there because it's strictly by appointment only.
Okay.
Um, but that makes the in-person time much shorter. So especially over the last 12 months, a lot of people have really liked this option. Instead of sitting in a class for 3 or 4 hours, they do the online part. I don't want to say exactly at their leisure, but they can
Yeah.
do it in pieces. They don't have to sit down and do the whole thing at once. It's really a nice program.
Okay.
And then when they're finished, they call me. We make that appointment to meet up. Then we're only together, depending on the student, between 30 and 60 minutes, and we're done.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the second option. And then the third one, I don't know that I have it up on the website yet, but it's called remote skills verification. So it's similar to the blended learning option, where the student works through some online courses, online work first. It's watching videos, answer questions. But then when they complete that, if they choose that option, equipment gets drop shipped to them.
Nice.
And then we set up, it, I'll say air quotes, an in-person time, but it's through something similar to Zoom or StreamYard, but it's through our website.
Yeah.
So that they can show me the skills, and I ask questions and they can ask me questions, which is, really an important aspect of the training is, just like what I had. I'm like, that teacher wasn't doing his job, because like, I'm like going, hello, what are we doing? Why are
Right.
we doing this?
Yeah.
And so, maybe you watched something or you heard something online and you're not sure, that's what I'm for. Ask me the questions. And I always ask everybody right before we start the skills, were there any questions?
Yeah. There you
Most
go.
of the time they come up with something like, oh yeah, wait, what was this thing?
Well, I see here that you offer your services in Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert, Chandler, Apache Junction, Scottsdale, Queen Creek, Phoenix, Glendale, Peoria, Ahwatukee, Surprise, Cave Creek, Paradise Valley,
Yeah, I'm
Avondale,
mobile.
everything. That's awesome.
Mobile.
So there's no excuse, guys. If you need it, we have a solution for you right here in the form of Dina, Staying Alive LLC, even pet CPR, guys. So let me know if you have a need, because we have solutions here for you right here. Nice little video that people are, I guess this is an introduction video from you.
Yeah, I need to update that, but I had a friend that helped me out with that one. So we, of
Yeah,
course, used it at the time. So,
there you go. Hey, well, our work here is never really done,
no,
and I
it's
don't
always a
believe.
work in progress.
Yes, yes, yes. So there you go. We got basic first aid, BLS, basic life support, I was interested in this wilderness first aid. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, that's fun. That is an 16 to 18 hour course.
Wow.
Prerequisite is the basic CPR first aid, because when you come into this class, we expect you to already know that part.
Oh,
And this is for those folks who really do backwoods hunting or camping or hiking, like where help is not readily available.
gotcha.
That's what that class is about.
Okay.
In fact, to some degree, when you come in, I'm like, okay, so y'all remember the stuff from basic first aid, right? And they all go, yes, yes, yes. I'm like, forget it,
Yeah.
forget it.
Wow.
Like, because that's literally basic. We start talking about, God forbid you have a broken femur. What do you do? That's
Yeah.
not something that can wait 2, 3, 4, 6 hours,
Yeah, for sure.
that has to be taken care of right away. And we also talk about some situations where I don't have a great answer for you. There's not a good answer. So anyway, a lot of prevention in that class too. How do we not have certain things happen? So
Yeah. Well,
planning
that's
ahead.
awesome. This right here is a service that everyone needs, I believe. That's just my opinion. So, and switching gears a little bit, if you are not connected with Deanna, all the least you could do is like their page on Facebook.
Please.
And I am not signed up to my Facebook on this one, but once you hit this little icon right here, you'll be able to do it on your own. Deanna, is there anything else that you would want your audience to know? Like, let me ask you this one before we get to that. What is your most ideal client that you want to work with?
Ooh, my golden opportunity. Yeah, that would be a big company that has lots of, people that need training, maybe an
Yeah.
OSHA related situation. I have a couple of clients like that.
Okay.
Any kind of caregiving agency that, doesn't have an in-house trainer, that would be the golden child, if you will.
Nice.
But like you said, everybody needs it. I work a lot with scouts and scout leaders.
There you go.
I have for years. I was a scout leader, so I know what you're dealing with. So I know what's required. Again, that's kind of where that wilderness class came out of. The Boy Scouts in particular, they do some high adventure stuff. And there it is required if you go to, they have three major high adventure camps around the country. And so if you get one of the magic tickets to go, one of the prerequisites is actually this particular wilderness first aid class, which I love. American Safety and Health Institute is one of my favorite programs to run. It's super
Nice.
easy, down to earth, and it's easy for me to work with as a training center manager, if you will. But that program, the last couple of times they updated it, they purposely waited to publish their materials until they got word back from the Boy Scouts, like, is this compatible with your program? And so I love that. But it's an awesome program. It's mostly guys, but the people that have been through my class, they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, and they've been through my other classes. And so they got a lot of material there, but they're like, yeah, this is just like, whoa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you're doing is a great thing. It's definitely needed. So folks, if you are in the market, you know that you need it, or you're procrastinating, you got no more excuses now.
Yeah.
Down below on the ticker, you can see Deanna's contact information. And Deanna's also a part of CenterSphere. So we're going to get her some more eyes, ears, and attention as she is a new member of CenterSphere. But here's the thing, guys. If you have a problem, especially when it comes to CPR, you now have a solution. And that's what this is all about. Deanna, we are just at 14 minutes. I want to thank you for your time. And
thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. And I'm going to let people know that like I said, if you need some solutions, I got you. In this case, Deanna's got you if you need CPR. But that's all the time that I have, and before I let you go, I want to remind you, there are many solutions out there, folks. Some of them are pretty good, But the question you want to ask yourself is, why be mediocre when you can be excellent? Deanna, thank you so much for joining us, and I will see
Thanks,
you
Xavier.
and everybody else next time. Bye.